All right guys, so we're gonna look at a chest supported, what we'd almost call like a bit more of a mid-back pull down, but we can't forget here that the rear delts are definitely going to get involved. So really think of this as more challenging the musculature really around this kind of whole upper back region here. So we get Charlie to grab the handles now. In comparison to doing a lat focused pull down, you'll notice that the seat is quite upright here, and it's very different from the lat focused one where we would line the body up with the line of the cable to bias those lat fibers. We've now orientated Charlie's torso much more upright so that as he pulls those elbows back, you'll see that they drive back a little bit more favorably in line with all of the musculature around the mid back. So the rhomboids, the mid traps, lower traps as well, and a bit of teres and rear delts in there as well. So a couple of cues that Charlie's going to think about. He's going to think about driving the elbows wide, so he's almost thinking about like abducting or pulling the arms apart, and a thing you can almost think about here as well is pulling the handles apart a little bit as well. And he's going to think about keeping those elbows wide as he pulls back. Now, if you wanted to bias just a tiny bit more of the mid-back, we could ask Charlie to, as he pulls the elbows back, think about pulling the elbows in and towards each other in that midpoint there. It really just depends what you're trying to get out of the movement. Neither's right or wrong, just a couple of little different cues. Now, a couple of things that you'll see done wrong. If we're trying to bias the mid-back, of course, people will sometimes pull down the way, so it'll end up being more biased towards the lats, and it's not really what we're after here. Again, the other thing you'll see here as well is that big hyperextension, so there'll be a arcing back and away, and there'll also be a bit like tugging and using a lot of momentum as well. So it's very easy to use your torso in order to create a lot of momentum in this movement. Ideally though, chest is going to stay against here. We're going to think pulling those handles apart, elbows as wide as we can, and making sure that we really control those endpoints, so we control where we land, and also we're going to control where we take off from here as well. So control transition and control transition up again.